All right, today we are going to unlock a framework that can seriously transform your arguments, your writing, even your speeches. It's a simple set of tools, really, but they're designed to make you way more persuasive. Let's dive right in.
You know that feeling, right? It's just so frustrating. You have a solid point, maybe a great idea, but it just doesn't seem to land. It almost feels like your words are just vanishing into thin air. But what if you could change that? What if you could make your point actually stick? Get people to not just hear what you're saying, but to truly listen. Well, here's the thing. That ability, it's an art for sure, but it's also a skill. And the best part? Any skill can be learned. I mean, just imagine having a kind of secret weapon for communication. A toolkit, a set of proven techniques you could pull from anytime you need to build a stronger, more convincing case for whatever it is you're passionate about. Well, that's exactly what we're looking at today. It's a pretty simple memory aid, a mnemonic called DAFOREST. Think of it as your own personal toolkit for persuasive communication. DAFORST. It looks a little weird, I know, but each letter in that acronym stands for a really powerful technique that you can weave into your writing and your speaking to make your message hit home. 9 tools in total. All right, so let's pop the hood on this thing, shall we? We're going to look at each tool one by one to see not just what it is, but how some of the world's best communicators actually use it to make a huge impact.
Okay, first up in the toolkit, D is for direct address. It sounds simple, and it is, but it's incredibly powerful. The moment you use the word you stop talking at a crowd and you start having a conversation with a person. It just instantly closes that gap and creates a real personal connection.
And here's a perfect example of this in action. In his farewell speech, Barack Obama used direct address to thank the American people. And that one simple word, you, completely transforms a public speech into something that feels direct, intimate, and just incredibly powerful. All right, next up we have A for anecdote. We humans are just wired for stories, aren't we? A short, personal story can make a big, abstract idea feel totally real. It builds empathy in a way that just listing facts never could. I mean, think of a time a single story completely changed your mind about something. That's the power of anecdote right there. Okay, now for a really crucial pair. F for fact and O for opinion. Your opinion is, well, it's the core of your argument, right? But on its own, it's really just a belief. Facts, they're the bedrock you build everything on. They give you the provable evidence that lends your opinion some real credibility and weight. The letter R. This one's a 2-for-1 deal. First, you've got repetition. When you repeat a key phrase, you literally hammer it into your audience's memory. I mean, just think of Martin Luther King Jr.'s iconic "I have a dream." Then, the second R is for rhetorical question. You're not actually looking for an answer. You're trying to guide your audience's mind. You're making them think their way to your conclusion. It's subtle, but it works. And just like R, E gives us another powerful pair that appeals to 2 totally different parts of our brain. First is emotive language, which is all about targeting the heart, using specific words designed to make your audience feel something. Then, on the other hand, you have expert opinion. This one targets our rational side. By citing a credible authority, you basically get to borrow their trustworthiness, which makes your own argument seem a whole lot stronger. Moving on, we've got S for statistics. To put it simply, these are just facts with numbers attached. Using hard data, percentages, fractions, survey results, it just makes your argument feel less like a simple opinion and more like a scientific conclusion. It adds this incredibly powerful layer of proof. Just look at that. A single number like this can totally stop you in your tracks, right? It feels so concrete. Saying most people agree is pretty vague, but saying 87% of people agree, whoa. Suddenly it sounds like you've really done your homework. Specific numbers lend immediate authority. Okay, next on the list is T for the triple, or what a lot of people call the rule of 3. There's just something about this pattern. It's almost magical. The human brain finds it really rhythmic, satisfying, and super memorable. You hear it everywhere. Blood, sweat, and tears. Location, location, location. Grouping ideas in 3s just makes them stick. And that brings us to our final tool, I, for imperative. This is your call to action. An imperative is just a direct command. It tells your audience exactly what to do next. Join the movement. Think differently. It's such a strong way to end an argument, leaving your audience with clear, actionable instructions. So, there you have it, the whole DAFOREST toolkit. 9 powerful techniques. But honestly, here's probably the most important takeaway of all. A toolkit is pretty useless if you don't know how to use it. This is really the key. The true skill here lies in knowing which tool to use and when to use it. A fiery, emotional argument might be perfect in one setting, but a cool, statistics-based case might work way better in another. You always have to think about your topic, your audience, and what your ultimate goal is. The real art is in the application. So the toolkit is officially yours now. You can recognize the techniques used by some of the most effective speakers and writers in the world. So the only question left is the one right here on the screen. What powerful idea are you going to build first?